It's Ellen here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play clean Taylor's version on the guitar. So here's a quick overview of everything I'll be covering in this tutorial today, and with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so you only need to know 4 different chord shapes to play through this song, and we're going to start with our C major, which looks like this and sounds like this. And by the way, if you don't know how to read these chord charts you're seeing on screen, I do cover how to do that in my brand new beginner series right here on YouTube, so make sure to check that out right here. The next chord shape is our G add 4. After that we have our A minor. And then the last chord shape is our F over C. And these chords are really important to learn because Taylor uses them in so many of her songs, and if you go through my beginner series, you'll see how we can use them to play through so many songs, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But yeah, those are the only 4 chords you need to know to play through this song. So go ahead and pause the video and take as much time as you need to really memorize these chord shapes, as well as practice transitioning back and forth between them, because it'll make learning the rest of the song so much easier for you. Like I said, I do cover these chords in my beginner series, so if you're somebody who's struggling with guitar in general, I would definitely recommend checking that out. I will link that over here in the corner. But once you have those chords under your belt, then we can go ahead and talk about the strumming that I would recommend for this song. Alright guys, so like I always say, if you are brand new to playing guitar, or you're somebody who struggles with playing guitar while singing at the exact same time, then the first thing I would suggest doing is to bring up this song and go ahead and play through the entire thing with a single down strum on each chord change as you sing through the song. And you want to take this time to really just get used to what word or what syllable you're on whenever those chords are changing. So here's a quick example of what that would look like. The rain came pouring down when I was drowning. That's when I could finally breathe. Alright, so that's just a really quick example, but you would essentially want to do that for the entire song and just really make sure you know where those chords are going to be changing. And that's actually something you do right now if you check out my Patreon page. I do have this entire guide available to download and print out, so I'll make sure to leave that link in the description box for those of you who are interested. But once you have this single down strum under your belt and you know where to expect those chord changes, then we can go ahead and add to it to do more of a full strumming pattern for this song. Alright guys, so if any of you have been through my beginner series or you're just more familiar with Taylor songs in general, you might recognize this pattern. As you can see, it's just all down strums, and Taylor uses this a bunch, but we're going to count this in an 8th note rhythm, so it's going to go like this. We have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, 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 down. Alright, pretty simple, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to apply this strumming pattern 1 time through per chord throughout the song. Now, before we move on, there are 2 things that I would suggest adding to this strumming rhythm in order to make it sound more like the way Taylor would play it on stage, which is accents and palm muting. So first of all, accents, what that is you're just going to take some of these beats and you're going to emphasize them a little bit more. So I'm going to turn some of these arrows green. You can see beat 1, the and of the 2, and the 4. Those are all green beats. So what we're going to do for that is we're just going to strum with a little more oomph behind it, okay? So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You just want to emphasize those beats. So for example, let's put our C chord on. Something you can do to think about it also is when you play your emphasized beats, like the green ones, you could strum all the strings. And then for the purple beats that are non-accented, you can kind of strum and concentrate a little bit more just on the bass strings. All right, so we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? So accenting is something that I would definitely recommend doing. It can help you keep track of where you're at within the strumming pattern, and it also kind of moves the song forward and just kind of gives it a little bit more of a drum rhythm as you're playing. So with the accents, we have C and 2 and 3 and 4 and G and 2 and 3 and 4 and A minor. And this chord order, C, G, A minor, F, is what most of this song follows, so that's also great. And then the second thing I was talking about that I would recommend adding is palm muting. So basically what I'm doing there is I'm taking the side of my playing hand, like the one with my pick in it, and I'm taking the side of my palm and just gently laying that on the strings of my guitar really close to where this bridge is. And if you just barely kind of lightly touch them, it should dampen the sound of the strings when you strum. All right, so you should still be able to hear the difference between different chords. But all you're doing is making it not ring out as much, you're just dampening it, okay? So palm muting is something that Taylor uses a bunch on stage, so once you can get used to this technique, then it'll really help you out a lot. I do cover how to do this in my beginner series as well, so I definitely recommend checking it out. But basically what you want to do is add that palm mute in with the accents as you play through this song. So again, let's take a look at that intro. We're starting on our C chord. With both accents and palm muting, it would sound like this. We have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and to G, to A minor, to F over C. So throughout the song, you want to keep those accents going the whole time. But for the verses, I would recommend adding in your palm mute, and then for the choruses, I would let it go and just let it ring out. So for an example of the verse, we've got this. The drought was the very worst. When the flowers that we'd grown together died of thirst. All right. Then when you get into the chorus, you would do the exact same strumming rhythm with the accents, but just let it ring out. The rain came pouring down when I was drowning. That's when I could finally breathe. And by morning, gone was any trace of you. I think I am finally clean. All right. And throughout the song, there's going to be different chords where I would recommend doing just a single strum. For example, I think I'm finally clean. So those are just kind of throughout the song. If you want to kind of end a phrase on a single strum, it does kind of bring it to a close and makes it sound really, you know, kind of finished before you go into the next part of the song. And then the other thing I wanted to show you guys that's totally optional, but I think it's a lot of fun to do and sounds really pretty, is in the bridge at the very end of it, the drought was the very worst. What I actually do is, instead of strumming these chords, I'm still strumming with my pick, but I'm basically strumming like one string at a time. So for example, with our C chord, I'm starting here at the top of the chord, so our 5th string, but instead of strumming it down all at the same time, I'm gonna put a pause between each string. So we have, okay, you wanna hear each individual note. And I do that for the end of the bridge for each chord. So for C, I have 5, 4, 3, 2. For G, I have 6, 4, 3, 2. A minor is 5, 4, 3, 2. And F over C is 5, 4, 3, 2. Totally optional, like I said, but I think if you add this into the end of the bridge, it really sounds really pretty. The drought was the very worst. When the flowers that we'd grown together died of thirst. So totally optional, like I said, but if you want to add that cute little picking in there, I do think it sounds really pretty and it fits the song pretty well. And then again from there, we would just finish out the song with our strumming. But basically, those are my suggestions for how to strum through this song. It's pretty simple, and this pattern is, like I said, used a lot throughout Taylor's songs, so definitely the sooner you can learn it, the better. But that's my recommendation for strumming. All right, guys, so again, go ahead and pause the video and take as much time as you need to really develop the muscle memory to play this strumming pattern. Like I said, Taylor uses this so much, so the sooner you can learn it, the more you can apply it to so many of her songs, so definitely take the time to practice that. Accents, palm muting, that's all stuff that she uses a lot as well, so definitely try out those techniques. And as I said, if you need more guidance with that, I do cover that in more detail in my beginner series, so definitely check that out. It's free right here on YouTube. But once you have all of this stuff under your belt, then we can go ahead and put together everything we've learned in this tutorial to play through the song. 1, 2, ready, go. Want to have fun jamming out to the rest of this song with me? Then make sure to check out my Patreon page where you can unlock access to this as well as all my other Swiftie sing-along guitar tutorials. I've covered so many of her songs from all of her different albums, so if you're a Swiftie who loves to play her songs on the guitar, I would definitely recommend checking it out. I will make sure to link that in the description box down below. If you enjoy learning this song with me, then you should definitely check out this video. Not only does it have a super similar vibe and feel, but it's just as fun and easy to play, so I'll see you over there. Bye!